Feeling the walls closing on you, Andy? I know you are. When we last left Andrew, we were up to Saturday morning, where he had proceeded to threaten the dog with a knife and finished it off by belting it as hard as he could for good measure. This video is at risk of being a bit of a long one, so I'm going to advise that anyone who wants to know the story so far watches my initial ad hoc reaction video in the description. Andrew's next course of action was to upload a new video to his channel titled Peeing on My Dog, in which, yep, you guessed it, he urinated on the floor next to his dog.
I'm going to pee on my dog.
I don't know if any of it got on the dog, because the quality's so shit, it's hard to tell. It's okay though. Andrew assures us that, in a state of delusion that would make Shea Gorath scratch his head, says it's all completely okay because he cropped his peanut out of the frame. So, you know, it's good for YouTube now. Wow, you cropped a whole 1 inch off the image? Would seeing your wounded warrior really have made this any worse? Andrew went quiet for another few hours before reappearing in a video called Accidentally Made My Puppy Bleed. Read description. This isn't really a video, it's a still image of some blood on the floor. Andrew got really lazy after this point. Given Andrew's tendency to fart out lies at every opportunity, I couldn't tell you if it's even real blood, as it could just be ketchup that he put down there for attention. Though according to him, this is his dog's blood. He claims that the blood came from the dog crashing into a nearby wall and hitting the floor. Someone rightly pointed out that this wouldn't likely draw blood, to which he found himself laughing in a you got me fashion and confessed that he might have stabbed her with a pencil beforehand and that's what made her crash into the wall. It's okay though, because he gave a reason. He said that it was because the dog was making too much noise. You know, because that's how you fucking deal with that, isn't it? It's interesting to note that a lot of animal rights activists, people with dogs and such, have all said that the dog in the video has displayed signs of being in a state of trauma. I honestly can't tell because I'm not a dog person. I've never lived with a traumatized dog before, oddly enough. But, regardless, it would explain the dog's complete apathy to Andrew's bullshit and the fact that she barely makes a noise. She's still a badass in my books though. Andrew has so far been doing his best to get a rise out of the backlash he'd get for abusing his dog, because it would likely get him some attention from animal rights activists and his haters. By this point, people who liked him and despised him were all telling him to stop, and a lot of them were doing it for his own good, as it was obvious that this could only really end one way. He could really only pull this bullshit for so long before someone important got wind of it and, well, then it would just be impossible to control. Andrew proceeded to then upload a video called Pitching My Dog. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this was the first video that he'd actually made the dog cry out in pain in, at least since I started paying attention to him. It was, frankly, the final fucking straw for me. I had done with any form of soft soaping at this point. I was done with the wait and see crap. No, now was the time to speed up his inevitable downfall. And I wasn't the only one who came to that conclusion. It was around this time that YouTube user Dr. Yoshi Yamamoto revealed that he'd been working on something of his own. I was admittedly nervous, as I still didn't want anyone sending him death threats or leaking his address to dangerous individuals, as it could destroy our position and give him a chance to use the police as protection. Yoshi, however, surprised me and everyone else with a great move of making a brief video informing the watcher of, well, Andrew's bullshit, and then proceeded to send it to every person in Andrew's family, their friends, and basically it made its way around his entire community. I have to commend Yoshi for reaching out to his family first, offering them a chance to cooperate with the authorities. You see, we'd sent police to his house twice at this point, but his family were lying on his behalf. We believe they insisted that there wasn't an Andy there, and the police had no warrant and had to take their word for it and walk away both times. Yoshi, despite this, did give them a chance to end this with their dignities intact. Out of the family members he contacted, none of them got back to him. In fact, to this very moment, they are out there and are defending his actions. His mother insists that this isn't true, and he's playing and going a bit too far. Boys will be boys and all that shit. In spite of their many flaws, they're a strong family unit, and during the time period that we researched them, we got to see them behind the scenes. We got to see birthdays and various other things, and they're almost picturesque in those videos. Out of respect for the minors in that family, and somehow the family as a whole, I don't know what part of me respects them still, but whatever, I won't share anything about their private accounts. Andrew insists that the videos that I have shared are private, but no, they were uploaded to a public platform, and that makes them fair game. He sent the video, and within the hour, every person that Andrew was close to was now fully aware of what he was. This must have been the point where this got a little too real for him. I was cyberstalked by a man at one point, and he wasn't quite as bad as Andrew, but he had a number of his qualities. I was able to get him to stop by threatening to do to him what Yoshi did to Andrew. Anyone can put on a handle and an avatar and go around being the big bad guy, but every internet personality is just that, a character. When the person playing the character is at risk, it becomes a lot less funny for them and a lot more real. You can no longer live the two lives separately, and I think that is what hit Andrew. It was because of this that Andrew deleted every single video he had of him abusing his dog, and replaced it with a video called "Goodbye for Now, read description." In which he explained that his friends and family had been informed of his horrific actions, and that he has to withdraw. Bye for now, friends are talking crap on Facebook because my family members and my mom's friends and auntie got pissed at me, and now I'm a pedo by them, but in reality I'm not a pedo. Thank goodbye for now. I don't know how many days I'll be gone. I need to go and all this mess. Thank you guys for sending info about my family members. Fuck you all. Go rot in hell, you ignorant cunts.
It's beautiful. So beautiful. My life finally has a meaning.
However, Andrew didn't realise that this was only the beginning. I'm not quite sure how this happened, as I wasn't able to get much by way of a straight answer from anyone involved. It was a bit of a hectic, chaotic time. However, it might be a good time to bring up what I was doing at this point. You see, after the dog was pinched for views, we came to the conclusion that there were a number of groups who might be interested in what he was doing. So I proceeded to share Andrew's channel, videos, and my previous video on every animal abuse Facebook page I could find. Animal Foundation, as Andrew calls them, was sadly not one of them. I don't know where they got the story from, but I'm glad they did. You see, they are a rather popular animal rights group on Facebook, and they quickly caught wind of the story after the whole everybody and his friends and family knowing who he is thing. The Animal Hope and Wellness Foundation, or TAWF, no, not TAWF, that sounds dumb. They have spread this story to around 15,000 people across the entirety of their social media influence, making Andrew into a mini viral sensation over the course of a couple of hours. Now, 15,000 people want him dead. Andrew, after shitting his pants, went into his version of damage control, denying everything, telling everyone around to shut the fuck up. And for all you animal lovers and rights activists out there, he has a very special message for you.
Y'all were reacting like, bro, like, y'all are reacting, shut the fuck up, you fucking dumbasses, you son of a bitch. Like, seriously, go kill yourself, faggots. And yeah, this is a quick message.
Apparently, this nonsense is lies made up by a company who are very bad, and he's even using that tired fake news quote to hide his bullshit. Andrew, give it the fuck up. I have everything you've done, and I'm not the only one. There are people with more dirt on you than I have. There's stuff that some people have proving that you've done them, which are so awful that we couldn't even upload them to YouTube because they break the terms of service under any fucking context. You're done. Folks have stuff from your Discord servers, people who have recordings of you confessing that you abuse animals. The Happy Hour crew and friends have more shit on you, that they're more than happy to give me, Hatman, or anyone else who's gonna make your life much worse right now. His comment section on YouTube is currently a delightful shit show, in which dozens upon dozens of his detractors are throwing their hats and 2 cents his way. Hell, even I am taking the piss out of him now, because I have no further reason to stay in the shadows. Why would I? You're finished, Andy. Your doomsday clock is 5 minutes past fucked. The walls are closing in on you. Which is funny because you didn't have that much room to begin with. I've been wired all night, taking in every moment of your downfall. Hell, I've stopped taking screenshots for evidence, and just because they're so funny, I just gotta get a picture of them. And I have nothing but glee in my heart as I watch everything collapse around you, because I've watched your bullshit in silence. I saw everything you did to that dog, and to anyone who said something you didn't like, I had to watch people I've come to care about stay up all night and almost break under the pressure that you put them under in some cases. Also, you made me miss a live Annabelle Vostek concert, you fucking piece of shit. Whilst we're working to end this, his family are trying to deny everything, insisting that we've made a mistake. He couldn't possibly have done those things. In the comment section of the Animal Rights Facebook posts, in which he's blatantly doing those things on a video. I didn't want the family to be associated with him, at least not in this context. But they're happy to put themselves forward, lie for him, cover for him, and even break the law to protect him. No, fuck them. They're just as bad, if not worse, for enabling him. You're an absolute disgrace. And I stopped giving a shit about you the second that I learned how much of this won't be possible without you. I hope there's a place in hell for you people to burn. Honestly, I cannot stress how amazed I am at the dedication of the fine folks on Hatman's Discord server. Bringing this bullshit to the authorities, collecting as much evidence as possible, and even contacting Andrew's family and law enforcement to try and get this matter resolved. They're truly amazing people, and next to our lovely four-legged friend here, I'd call them heroes. The Animal Hope and Wellness Foundation and other animal welfare groups that let me share have my admiration. I'd just like to thank them for helping us get here sooner, even the one that did something dodgy with what I sent them. As for Andrew, I can only offer this last piece of advice. Give this shit up. This Onision crap isn't working for you. Turn yourself in, cooperate with the authorities before this gets worse, and for fuck's sake, tell your family to stop defending you before they get in legal trouble as well. I've dealt with all kinds of people, from Satan-worshipping nutjobs to other nonces, just like you, and I can safely say one thing. You are the fucking worst of them. I'm glad that this world is crashing around you. I'm glad that it's finally treating you with the same vitriol and hatred that you've shown it your entire life. The world is getting smaller and smaller, the noose tightens around your neck. You can deny it. You can be as big of a cunt as you want to be, Andrew, but it won't stop. It won't ever fucking stop. You were warned countless times by various people over the course of the last week to pack this shit in. You were told that a situation like this would occur, but you didn't listen, because on some level, you thought you were smart. You thought you were smarter than everyone. You thought that you could dodge this shit forever, for whatever the shit reason. You thought you could achieve where the likes of Jared had failed, but nobody can win at this game. Nobody can survive long making an enemy every day of the week. It's only a matter of time before the sword of Demangos drops on your head. You've ruined your own life, your family's life, and worst of all, your dog's life, because that dog is innocent. It's the only innocent in this story. It's not over yet, though. Oh, God, no. It'll never be over. It'll never be okay again. Nobody will look at you the same way again. They might defend you on the outside, Andrew, but I know that they look at you with the same disgust and hatred that I do. Hell, it would be even worse for them, because you are the one thing that keeps them from being truly happy. Their love is out of obligation now, and honestly, that's the worst fucking thing that you could inflict on yourself. It's the worst thing that could happen to anyone, and it couldn't have happened to anyone more fitting. Please continue to report this prick's YouTube channel. Please continue to report him to the authorities, and continue to keep the pressure on. In a civil, fair, and legal manner. I see a pair of handcuffs and a broken family in Andrew's future. I'm sure he's very proud of his accomplishment. I'll gladly give anything that anyone needs to bring this scumbag down. I have all of his videos archived, and I'll be uploading them along with this one, and I'll even make a compilation of screenshots showing this scumbag's attitude to all this. For now, keep fighting the good fight.
I am an animal abuser. I'm going to beat my dogs very hard. That's you think that's funny? I will do this. I don't care anymore if I kill my dogs or anything. You want to hear something?
Warning.